Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Yeah. Here I be. Good to be someplace. And a good morning to all of you. It's a gray. I got all the lights on. Can't see it. Gray day. Anyway, it's also a Tuesday. And that means, I know you're ahead of me on this one, that Susan should be joining us now. Hi, Suze.
Hi, can I breathe this week?
I don't know. I was wondering if I should remind you not to.
I've been very good. I was quiet.
Yes,
right.
It was
it's a problem for me because I seem to have been slimed by my youngest grandchild.
Oh.
And do you hear what I sound like?
Yeah. What do you have? You have a cold or what?
I think it's a cold. I feel like crud. I never get colds. I've got a sinus headache. I'm sneezing. My nose is running. That sort of thing.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to tell you, I am so glad that I don't have these viral vectors in my orbit, meaning grandchildren.
They're just amazing. They should absolutely come with a warning for seniors.
Really? Yeah.
Don mask and gowns and
really?
Wash your whole body after touching one of these petri dishes of death.
Yes.
And they're so damn cute, even though they got what running down their face, and you lean in for a kiss.
Well, that's why you're like you are right now.
And now I'm sick as a dog.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I have been, because everybody's warning about how the flu is so bad this year, and all this stuff, and how this is the greatest, this holiday season when families get together is just one huge, what do you call those things?
I thought I'd done this right. I sent my families off to be with their the appropriate side of the family for this holiday.
Christians.
And I was going to, right, and I was happily going to, just hang out with some friends. And now I'm,
well, I just really, I'm a little worried I am becoming, like germophobic.
I am.
But I really am. I'm just always aware, and I'm thinking, I don't want to be around people. One of them's going to kill me. Inadvertently kill me.
The two people that are invited me for, Christmas Eve invited me this way. Can we bring dinner over to your house? And I said, sure, but I don't have to be, stuck in the house anymore. I could actually come to your house. And she said, no, we like coming to your house. Which is fine with me, but it's not good for my my tendency to isolate. Oh, good, I don't have to leave the house.
Well, I'm afraid I'm getting a lot like that. I have like my Christmas Eve tomorrow will be spent at my house, but with another lonely old Jew who lives by themselves. So I think that's a real safe company.
Yeah, well, that's sort of what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I have one lonely Christian and one lonely Jew.
Oh God!
And I said I'm really good at it. This isn't, this is especially because I'm just wishing everybody happy Trumpmas, and
Yeah, well,
and a happy Trump year, and
I just know I want to say I know it's not a good thing to get to the point where you look at adorable children and you think death, illness, and death. I'm so glad. I just want to get to the spring where they've all like gotten How do teachers make it? My God, they must have immune systems that are
They must have
astonishing.
incredible immune systems.
Must have. Yeah.
I mean, the kids are so cute. My youngest one has refused to crawl and is just going right to standing and dancing. And his current thing is to stand against a couch or wedged into the corner of a couch and stand there with his arm up, elbow up, like he's standing at a bar.
Aw.
And he stands there for hours.
Yeah.
He's so happy to, have that perspective. But he just, when I tell you that he really reminds me of, he's named after my husband, and he
is.
He reminds me of my husband.
Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful. I just have...
Well, that's my defense. That's why I allowed him to totally slime me.
Okay. I know he's irresistible, that one. All the more reason for me to avoid him. Ben writes, when I was a teacher, I caught my first strep throat compounded by the flu, which I got over by catching a cold. And there you have teachers.
That's
God
it.
bless them. Yeah. People are wishing you a happy New Year, Susan. Would that we could
Thank you.
Would that we could imagine such a thing. The last year, the one that's closing out, being the year from hell, when we, it does make Alice in Wonderland and that tale look really sort of delightfully tame and fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean this.
And Trump is so nuts. He's giving Musk, he's going, here, I give you a forest preserve for SpaceX. Here,
Yes. Yeah. No, exactly.
I'm going to name the next battleship line after myself. Here, I'm going to, and I'm going,
I think he is certifiably insane now. I mean, just go.
He's just
Right.
certifiably insane.
Yeah. Mary Frances says, I substitute teach at a Catholic K through 8. Last week, we were averaging 100 to 105 students absent due to illness. God. And I imagine some teachers, which is why you as a substitute were there, right? Because they're falling. Wow. No.
Well, and the problem is that, with two people work in the home where two people are not working with children is extremely rare. So people, even more than they used to, send their kids to school sick because they can't not go to work.
Oh, God. Not good. I don't know.
No, I mean, that's why I was with my grandson the whole time, because there was a daycare holiday. And he's got two parents. Daycare takes a holiday. What does that mean?
Aw. Well, speaking of, what about poor daycare workers? They get paid nothing.
Nothing.
And they have to
risk their lives.
Exactly. I just don't. Unbelievable. Anyway, God almighty. Okay, let's just let's jump into it somewhere or other. I was blown away by this. Someone asked, and speaking of children, someone asked ChatGPT, if you could, how would you destroy the next generation? That was the question. You know what the answer was? ChatGPT AI said, I think the question was, if you were the devil, how would you? I think that was, how would you destroy the next generation?
And let me guess, they would turn everybody against each other and they would eliminate the problem.
No, it's more ominous than that, I think. ChatGPT said, I would destroy the next generation, not by terror or violence, but by distraction, disconnection, and slow erosion of meaning. Exactly.
Well, that's clearly the plan.
Well, that's exactly what's
how they
going
go.
on. That is where we are.
Well, that's how do you think ChatGPT knows?
It's just unbelievable. We sit here again and just watch it happen. I guess we don't know. I mean, well, I don't know how you. I'm worried not only becoming germophobic. I'm gonna become like Ted Kaczynski and get a place up in a shack somewhere in the mountains, and I don't think I'll try
Write manifestos.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill people, but I can understand wanting to remove oneself from where we are heading. Anyway, I'll try not to be quite so depressing. Ha! Ah.
La 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 la.
Okay, and here, just one more thing on the kids' front and their health, okay? A new study says that 2025, good riddance, will be the first year in this century in which deaths of children under age 5 go up rather than down.
All right.
Yes.
Because vaccines.
Well, I would think vaccine and a lot of other stuff as well. This is worldwide. It's not just here. This is worldwide.
Okay. Well, for war, famine. I mean, there's a ton of reasons.
And another one being that Musk and Trump just destroyed USAID, which delivered all kinds of life-saving drugs to people in distress. So they think it's going to be largely cuts to foreign aid by wealthy nations, isn't it? I mean, it's just disgusting. We're the worst. The worst.
Well, it's just this is what happens when you put 95% of the world's wealth in a handful of people, and they just want it. They don't care if everybody dies. What do they give a shit?
No, they don't. They don't give a shit.
I mean, they clearly don't.
Right.
They're just building bunkers for when people get mad, and they'll be safe in their bunker on an island in Hawaii, like Zuckerberg.
Yeah, 'tis true. Yeah. Rustbelt says...
And they flaunt the law.
Yeah.
I mean, Zuckerberg has all of his neighbors furious at him because he's bought up everything around them and then put up an illegal school and just absolutely pays no attention to how he is supposed to live amongst other people.
Well, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. They don't matter.
Okay, so you had mentioned Trump giving away, I guess this would be federal land to Musk in Texas so that he could, it's a wildlife refuge essentially. It's one of those places we're not supposed to touch. And he's giving it to him, for his business reasons. And this is the same president who has now halted the 5 wind farms that are under construction, right, on the eastern shore.
Yeah, I'm upset that I thought those were far enough along that in the end they decided to go ahead, but I guess not.
Yeah,
I mean, it's literally stopping the project when all they have left to do is plug it in.
Some of them, yes. In fact, some of them. And this is, they say, what he did was stop $25 billion worth of projects that were expected to supply 2.5 million Americans with power. Also, they would have created amongst them over 10,000 jobs. And this SOB, he says the reason given is that is essentially environmental, that they destroy like the birds. They destroy birds.
Yeah.
Like he gives
he
gives a flying fuck about birds, right? In fact, I think I also read that he just took down the EPA's, or whoever is it, the EPA's protection of some kind of a grouse that often you see pictures of, because when they sort of fan their tails, they're like amazing little peacocky things. He's going to be killing a lot of those as well. So he his anim. This is why.
And this is at the same time that they're building all of these power-eating data centers.
Yes.
And such that cities are going to run out of power. But no, you can't have that off the. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
That this group of people could be this bad at being bad.
Well, the thing is, they, as you say, they care nothing about anything other than themselves, and they're
just handing out prizes to their friends. That's all they're doing.
Their acquisition of money, and more power. The thing, though, when I saw what I was reminded of what Trump has said about windmills. This guy is so stupid, crazy, nuts. Here are some of the things he has said. We know why he has this. You know how he's on he seeks revenge against those who have wronged him. Windmills wronged him. That is what this is about. They built in the UK windmills offshore of his fucking golf course. And he went ballistic, tried to get it stopped. And that was where this animus happened. Now, that is years and years ago. And now, as president, he gets to get back at the windmills.
I'll show you windmills.
But that is what's going on. That's what's going on. This guy is insane. So, okay, here's some of the things he has said. He comes up with reasons that are not, the real reason. If you have a windmill anywhere near your house just went down 75%. Now, it might hurt the evaluation of a house. 75%, I doubt. And then he said, because they're so noisy, and he said the noise of windmills cause cancer. Yeah. Then he says, if you love birds like he does, you'd never want to walk under a windmill because it's a very, very sad sight. It's like a cemetery. In California, if you shoot a bald eagle, they put you in jail for 5 years. And yet the windmills, they get to wipe them all out. He wants the windmills in jail for 5 years. And he also, because he cares so much about whales, he said the windmills are driving the whales crazy. The only whale they're driving crazy, Donald, is you.
How can they be driving the whale? Okay.
Well, listen, Susan. Yeah. Right. Okay, so there was that. Here's another thing. I didn't know about the battle. I managed to go to bed last night. I'm so glad, without knowing about the Trump class battleships. Oh my God! Yeah. Oh my God! Here's the thing, guys. You ask anyone in the Navy or I guess a lot of the guys in the Pentagon that were serious are gone, but they will say this is insane. It is the last thing that we need. We're phasing out these kinds of ships. If anything, we need tinier ships, a lot of tiny, even unmanned ships. The future. See, he's stuck back with visions of World War II in his head, right?
I know. Right.
Right.
He wants to fight the Great War on the wrong side.
Yes, and this time, right, with the Nazis. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. And did you see he has a picture of himself on the upper deck? This will be part...
And it's photoshopped, which is the only way you'll ever find him on a battleship.
This will, I got to tell you, this is part of his golden fleet. Un-effing believable.
Are they going to paint him gold?
I don't know, because let me tell you this. The thing he hates about the battleships he sees are, as he has complained, they're terrible looking. And so he is personally going to involve himself in the design. Because we
all know his exquisite taste in decoration.
Yes, and we know how his expertise in battleships. The last battleship to be built was completed in 1946. The last battleship commissioned was decommissioned in the 1990s. And he's just taken by this picture he has in his head. He said, these ships are, someone talking about him, he said, obviously these ships are about the president's, visualization of what a cool-looking battleship would be. That's what he wants. And we're calling him the Trump class. And we're putting my name. What the hell? We'll all be branded with Trump on our foreheads by the time he's out.
I can remember the good old days when it took an act of Congress to authorize the funds, and presidents didn't think that government lands were theirs to give away.
Yeah,
like
remember
fiefdoms, like little fiefdoms. Like W. Duke of, what is this?
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is the new.
And can we take it all back when he?
I don't know. It's not going to be easy.
When we have a Trump Memorial Day?
No, it's not going to be easy. And I really don't. It's unbelievable. He is acting full on like a king. The Trump Kennedy Center thing. The fact, here's what's so astonishing, that all of this. So he goes after. He gets rid of the entire board of the Kennedy Center, which was filled with it had nothing to do with partisan politics, and he puts.
It was an arts council.
Yes, he puts his folks. He puts his ass kissers in, people who will say yes sir and do what he wants, and then he appoints himself as chairman of the board of directors. And then, lo and behold, the board decides to name the center after him.
Which they have no authority to do.
And when they did it, when they announced it, the next day, the name went up on the facade, which meant that the letters to put on the facade that matched the existing.
They got a warehouse of Trump letters.
I don't know. This was it's and
it's like the plaques. The plaques underneath the president's name.
Yeah.
Like I had to look that up to see if that was just someone making that up.
Yeah, that's true. Me too. No.
Wasn't that your first thing? Oh, that's a bit much. Someone's going a bit too far here. Nope.
All in the service of this guy's insatiable and fragile ego. And I have to tell you that if it's this bad not even a full year in to this term, we cannot begin to imagine where we'll be in a year. I can't even begin to imagine. The fact that, I was saying yesterday how the 60 Minutes thing shows how one of the more important things that a autocrat does is takes control of the media, and that control was evidenced with the 60 Minutes, pulling the piece that he did not want shown. He's very far along in doing things that will be very difficult to undo. So that I don't know. Stop and think about it. So the video, the story just wonderfully got out because CBS had earlier sent it to the network in Canada that shows 60 Minutes. And
right.
So it's out there.
To get rid of is everywhere.
It's out there, and then now it is all over. You cannot go on the internet without seeing it, being able to watch it. But here's the thing. Remember how you used to feel about those poor people living behind the Iron Curtain?
Yeah,
it's us now. How they couldn't see real news or what was going on because their government censored what they could know and what they could see. And here are Americans now, every one of us who has watched that, is watching essentially something that came into our purview across the border, bootlegged video that we are not supposed to be seeing.
But that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to shake the public's trust in everything that they previously trusted. From the government to the media to whatever things that they went to for information and truth, this group, that their main task was to shake the foundations of that trust, even among those of us who are inclined, to want to keep that stuff going because it no longer works. And so now you've taught a whole country to mistrust all media and all government.
Everything. You cannot have a functional united nation, United States, without trust in the basic
without a governing body.
Yeah.
Or few.
No. The thing is how far along they've already gone, because while they're dealing with this dithering lunatic, and I'm sure there are people that just try to keep him. But the others, like this Russell Vogt and Stephen Miller, and the ones that are actually doing the work, they are not they're evil, but they're not insane. And they do know how to pull this crap off. But here's the other thing I love. This, I think it was George Conway who said it. This could end up being the most watched news magazine segment in television history.
Yeah, I know. Everything they do to deflect attention from whatever they're trying to deflect attention to, it fails spectacularly.
Well, so I'm just saying, people will be watching
because
this.
They fail to understand how their own media works.
Oh.
She can't suppress something that she already put out, and she's so stupid she doesn't even know it.
Rusbelt says there are windmills near me over in Fayette County, and you can't hear them. You can pass windmills when traveling on the turnpike near Somerset. Yeah, and you can't hear him. What noise is he talking? Well, I mean, there doesn't have to be any truth in what he's saying, right?
Let me tell you the amount of noise wind makes.
Somebody has suggested get ready for the Donald J. Trump Grand Canyon. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just putting his name on everything.
Well, we will all live for the time, like how the people behind the Iron Curtain finally got to see the statues of their dictators fall down, got to see them dragged down, got to see their name and their faces taken off of all the buildings. We will hope and pray that moment comes for us sooner than we think.
No, that's the easy part. Just get in there. The next president just has to get in there and scrape all that shit off.
It's not, but it won't be. It's when you're the mess that these guys will have left is so monstrous. You don't even know where to start.
Just the picture of a third of the White House just demolished in a pile of asbestos-laden junk.
And you saw how long.
Now you see it, now you don't. I mean, this is like, can you imagine if your kid did this to like your living room? What would you do?
I think the he already fired the first architect because the first architect was saying, it's just too big. It unbalances it overwhelms the White House, and you just can't. That's just something you don't want to do. He's gone and replaced by a guy who will overwhelm the White House if you want. I understand that the construction on that thing is going on 24/7. I kid you not. They work in the dark. They work the sound of that. Let's talk about noise. The noise of that construction is bothering everybody in the White House except Trump, because he loves.
No, he's not there. He's in Florida playing
but
golf.
He's there every once in a while. He loves the sound. My God, so I guess a new bunch of Epstein crap came out, and they are not.
Yeah.
The stuff that is obviously detrimental, they're not going to let it out. They are not.
Well, at least Trump is in this a lot.
Yeah, but obviously not in a way that you can say, aha, see, he committed a crime. I mean, he's in it. You can see that how often he is on Epstein's plane, which is a lot. In fact, where do I have? I'll get it. He's on the plane. Oh, fuck it.
No, he is a lot with sometimes flying with a daughter, sometimes with a son.
Okay.
But sometimes just with Epstein alone and a 20-year-old girl.
It says
over 18.
So the prosecutor who wrote this memo says, for your situational awareness, I wanted to let you know that the flight records we received yesterday reflect that Donald Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet many more times than previously has been reported or that we were aware of, including during the period that we would expect to be charging in the Maxwell case. So
Right.
he's on the plane when Maxwell and Epstein are, running their sex trafficking thing. He's going down.
They're getting in trouble for it in Florida.
Yeah.
And this is the Department of Justice going, and because it's written at a point where Trump has just taken office, so he's going. It's a warning. He's all over this thing. Just heads up.
And I love the fact that Bill Clinton has come out and said, I am not hiding from it. Dump all of it out here. I have nothing to hide. Obviously, some other people do. So, that is the correct thing.
Well, I mean, Clinton's in such a place that, at a certain point you go, what else can they say about me that, they haven't already said about me? Put it out there. We know that Bill Clinton has, I don't know if he still did, but he certainly had a zipper problem.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah, so there's nothing new about that, and anything that comes out about that would be, okay.
And like often happens with the American populace, they didn't give a damn.
No.
Okay. So.
No, they blame the women.
Yeah.
That treacherous Monica Lewinsky.
So, I find, here's something else where you can't believe what you're seeing, but there it is, and it's a reliable source. The State Department, after it finally, made clear what typeface could be used, right? Got on
Times New Roman.
Got more serious, and moved on to put out a memo that says that anyone, a foreigner, trying to get into the United States, you land on a plane at Kennedy Airport and you're coming to the U.S. You're visiting, you got a job, you're working, I don't know. But anybody who tries to get in will be ruled ineligible if they have worked in fact checking. Do you effing believe fact checking?
Well, I thought, or ethics. Ethics
Or
right.
Content moderation, or get this, if they specialize in identifying misinformation. You can't come here. They don't want you here.
Honest to Pete.
And when asked, a State Department official said, "We do not support foreigners coming to the U.S. to work as censors, muzzling Americans." You can't make that up. The detail.
So all these years, we've been sending Americans as watchdogs.
Oh, God. Just, oh, God. Mord wants to know,
never mind that we're kidnapping whole ships in Venezuela, and just, declared, I guess we're at war. And we got fighter pilots over Syria. I guess we're at war.
Well, Venezuela, clearly, they're just now flat out saying regime change, which is exactly what a whole bunch of people who voted for him voted on, that he was going to stop these goddamn forever wars. And here he is. No one. When was Venezuela ever mentioned during the campaign?
I mean, what forever war with Venezuela?
And on top of it, it's just fascinating how they start out by saying it's about drugs, right? It's about drugs and blowing over 100 people out of the water, war crimes.
Yeah, murdering 100 people, and then we seized 2 oil tankers.
And then we say, clearly, it's not about drugs. It's about oil. Venezuela stole our oil. And they're saying it out loud. And we want the oil. Now, here's the bizarre stuff. How the hell can it be our oil if it's
our oil?
It's in Venezuela. And if you want to unite the Venezuelans, then tell them that their most precious resource belongs to us. Even people
or go to Denmark and tell them, by the way, I'm here to take Greenland.
This is frightening. He wants to own the Western Hemisphere. It'll be called Trump America, not South America. Trumpland. He is flat out insane. That's all.
That goes without saying. It's all the people around him that are actually doing it that are the scary ones. And I mean, I don't even know what punishment. Well, I know what punishment I think is appropriate, but.
Well, since they're trying to destroy the democracy, I think that's called treason.
They're
that's
all
called
traitors.
They're traitors. It's called treason, and
they should die.
Yeah, that would be the fitting penalty. So, Susan, this is a sort of a local story, but now one of these sons of bitches has waded into it. Pittsburgh's has not had, as far as I'm concerned, a daily newspaper that I can access for 3 years. Their reporters and other union members went out on strike. And it is the longest newspaper strike in American history. At every level, the strikers won. They won going through the entire National Labor Relations Board process. Every win, the paper immediately appealed, right? So they played the Trumpian game of slowing this down.
We'll just keep this going until you quit.
And then finally, unbelievably, a federal judge, and this is now about a month ago, I'm thinking, said to the Post-Gazette, look, you have not been bargaining in good faith. You have, and it was another loss at an appeal, the highest appeal level that they had reached, and they were told to let those strikers back in. And they went in. The strikers went in. One of my son's dearest friends was one of the strikers. He went back. Finally, he's been through hell. And all of these people are back. The Post-Gazette, wait, the Post-Gazette is not done. There was one more shot they had. They appealed to the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, how often would a court get into a labor thing in which the management has not gotten a single win in 3 years at any level? But damn, guess who? Samuel Alito. Yesterday issued a stay.
Oh, he's such, oh, God.
These guys are, it's just, and this is following the November ruling by the Third Circuit Court of Appeals in total favor of the strikers as every other. And he, though, somehow, Samuel Alito, saw fit to see some possibilities that all of these other courts and arbiters were obviously mistaken.
The nugget of truth.
Yeah. I mean, the appeals court said, the newspaper has acted in total bad faith. And they ordered them to start negotiating in good faith and let those people back in while you're doing it and pay them what they've been owed. And so Alito is giving them their last shot. He has given them until only a week. They got till January 5th to, oh no. Oh, for God's sake. Alito ordered the National Labor Relations Board to file a response to the newspaper's request. It's already been all the way through the NLRB. Maybe what they're doing is putting whatever stooge now runs the NLRB, right, on notice. Yeah. I don't know. I am just so sickened by this. Unbelievable.
Well, bullies.
Okay, Mord says, our oil, as in big oil, who invested there, yeah, and then got thrown out, much like what happened in Cuba. Yeah, right. Our is clearly not meaning the American people anymore. No, it's corporate. It's these big corporations. Because he and his kind do not represent the people. You're absolutely right. Our oil means the oligarchs' oil. We're the ones who built the infrastructure. We came in and we built all that stuff. And then Venezuela nationalized it. We want our oil back. The oil, can you imagine if we had huge oil deposits in this country and some other country said, that's ours?
Well, in fact, can you imagine that we have a shortage of water in this country?
Well, that
and
we do.
In fact, other countries own the water, and we're shipping it to, like, Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So I can imagine that. It's already happening.
Wow. There's no way to satisfy this guy. More. William writes, no matter how much power, no matter how many buildings he renames, no matter how much money he extorts, it'll never be enough. That is right. It will never be enough because he is incapable of being satisfied. Oh, for a moment, for a fleeting moment, he can feel.
He's addicted.
He is the most fucked up being. I remember thinking that, what's his name? Adolf Hitler was obviously crazy. And how could people not see that he was crazy? And I actually think Trump seems more crazy than Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
and more obviously
more
crazy.
certifiably.
And still has a huge following. Yeah.
It's
telling the rest of us that we have Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, that's the part that always gets me.
Yeah, who's deranged? Who's deranged?
The people that have TDS are the cultists.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw that, speaking of these rich guys, that Mitt Romney did write an opinion piece that was in the New York Times, and the headline is, "Tax the Rich Like Me." And
Buffett did that too.
And I mean, he's absolutely right. And he said it's the tax code. And the tax code, he makes fun of the fact that we call them loopholes. He said, loopholes? That sounds like such a little thing. Believe me, the loopholes for the rich
are troughs.
He called them caverns, caves.
Yeah.
They are so fucking huge. And he goes on to explain the capital gains tax and how Elon Musk could literally, if he originally purchased, this is like, he says, if Elon originally bought Tesla stock, let's say, that was worth $1 billion, and then he held it, and then he dies, we can only hope, and it's then worth $500 billion. It means that $1 billion made $499 billion.
Yes, and the basis is adjusted on his death.
And it means that his
heirs
will
don't pay a penny.
Not
However,
one.
There is an estate tax limit here, so that's not quite accurate.
Well, the fact is, and when Romney talks about the rich, he's got it. He's not going after. I mean, he's saying the really, really rich.
He's talking about the multi-millionaires.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He just flat out says, look, like the bank robber Willie Sutton. If you go, who was asked, why do you rob banks? And he says, I go where the money is. If you need money, and we do, you don't go to the poor taxpayers who are getting poorer by the moment. You go to where the money is. But since this is a government of, by, and for the oligarchs and corporations, the tax code has about as much chance of changing as, me turning into a unicorn.
Well, it does seem to be a no-brainer that, there's some limit put on immense wealth.
God damn.
I mean, especially when in the 1950s, the top tax bracket was, I think it was 85%.
It was huge.
And our dad was at 75%. And complaining at the dinner table that for every dollar we spent, he had to make 4 more.
Well, you know what? There was a huge tax rate at the time when Dad was starting to. Guess what? It's the same period.
Guess what happened? Guess
how
much it set
he accumulated wealth that period.
That was my point.
Being taxed.
That was my point. He was building his business. He was not all that wealthy. He was a young businessman with. I was like 5 or 6. You were 10. With it. And he managed to do quite well, even
with that high taxes.
75% of his income away every year to the government to rebuild after a war.
I was reading this story. It just blew my mind. I know that living in New York City is pricey, but people do live there, and they're not all rich. Because there's a lot of people who have to serve all those fucking rich people in New York City. And there was a piece about people working full-time jobs, sometimes working two, having to go to food banks. They can't make enough because the rents are so unbelievably high. This is why Mamdani won, as he did.
Well,
the pain has been, it's not just the poor, it's people you would consider middle class.
No, it's the middle class and even the upper middle class. I don't know how anybody manages to do anything.
They interviewed woman. They interviewed a woman, Susan, 50-year-old woman, who was eating a free lunch of corn and rice at a food pantry, and she was dressed in, really nice office wear because she works as an administrative assistant for a nonprofit. And she said, please, I can't give you my name. It's too embarrassing. She earned $50,000 a year, and that is double what a single person her age is allowed to earn while remaining eligible for food stamps. She's 50,000. You can't have, if you're making 27,000, you can't have food stamps. We live in a country, a full paycheck does not allow for a person to live with dignity. There's a story in here about a woman who works 7 days a week. She's 33 years old. She has 3 children. And she can't. She doesn't qualify for food stamps. And she's been turned away from food pantries because some say she's making too much. They don't say what she's making, but it ain't enough. And her kids are hungry. She has 3 children, 4, 9, and 11. And she works as a sales rep for a door and window company. And then she works for Five Guys at the restaurant. And she has 3 children. She works at Five Guys on the weekends, working her tail off. And still, this government gives her no.
Well, part of but the housing crisis, again, is such a complex thing, especially in New York. But in many places, and again, it's corporate America that's screwing everybody up. So a ton of that New York residential real estate is owned by people that don't live in it.
Yeah, I know, but we do nothing.
It's empty.
And here's,
and they don't tax people. They are not doing anything to help the economy of New York. They aren't doing it. Conglomerates that are just buying everything, and so that they can control the rental market. They are taking all the single-family houses off, and then they'll rent them back to you.
In California, it is not unusual to see people living in storage containers that are grouped together in someone's backyard. These have, obviously, they have no windows, they have no kitchen or bathroom. Often there is a porta potty put in the area, and the people who are living in them are also working. They are working.
Oh no!
Listen to this: a family of 5 paid $1,800 a month to live in a storage shed in the backyard of someone's home in San Francisco. A family of 5 in a storage shed. This country.
I have a friend that started a charity that leases out parking lots in Los Angeles and puts porta potties on them and puts guards on them and allows people to park their cars and sleep in them there.
You know what, though? It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be, but at
It
least
shouldn't
given
be.
that it is, at least they're trying to give them some facilities and some security.
This is a total failure of
It's a total failure
of
the
a
richest
society
country of the world.
of society. And somebody put it this way, who works with people who are food insecure. This issue is the canary in the coal mine for the collapse of our society. If people can't afford the basic costs of living in what were previously middle-class jobs, then society is failing in fundamental ways. And we've got a government that is building battleships we don't need, going to war with Venezuela, and we are one fucked up country. I mean, like I'm telling you something you don't know. Unbelievable. Okay, that's it. I got, I don't even know if I should do a show tomorrow. I mean, on Christmas Eve, should I do a show? I don't have anything happy. Anybody got anything happy? The silence. The silence.
Well, it's not my problem.
No, the silence is deafening. So, you know what? I'm going to take the holiday. I'm taking it off. I don't want to do this to you. I don't want another hour of this depressing stuff. I do have more stuff here, and it's so fucking depressing I can't see straight. I mean, I was actually sparing you, Susan, from some of the stuff I've got here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, so guys, if I don't come tomorrow, and I'm not going to, then our next show will be next year. What would it be, January 3 or something? Because, I mean, I was going to take next week off because I always do. Nobody's ever there. And so we'll talk again on whatever, the first Monday in January. Okay? 2026. God help us. I just can't. I can't take it anymore. Suze?
Well, rest up, and don't let anybody in your front door without,
What?
skin tests and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know what you were talking about. Well, no, and I hope you feel better, and yeah, whatever. Okay, thank you.
I'll be fine. Well, I'll talk to you before the new year. So.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Happy holidays.
Yeah,
everybody.
happy holidays. That's right. I'm sorry. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Lynn
oh,
Cullen Live.
God.
Monday through Thursday
God,
from
I'm
10
sorry.
a.m. to 11 a.m.
I am sorry.
And archived at pghcitypaper.com.
Son of a
The opinions
bitch.
in Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.